Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. Alright, so I just finished working out. It's been a legendary day. Enjoying my ice cold Zevia. And I want to bring you guys my analysis of the Fusion event. So this is another Fusion event that, surprise, surprise, since I'm not super early on it, I feel like it's not such an urgent one to go for. Right? If you go for it, great. I mean, if you can go for Fusion, you should always go for Fusion. That is the philosophy behind WSoul13's way of playing Raid Shadow Legends. That should be the F2P low spender way to do your thing in Raid Shadow Legends, right? Definitely, if you can go for Fusion, that is actually the end game for F2P low spenders, alright? So in case you don't understand the philosophy of how you should play Raid Shadow Legends, if you are an F2P low spender, feel free to look at one of my latest videos, which is the Ultimate Death Knight Guide, right? It should be like a couple of videos deep in my channel. Just check it out real quick. That should tell you exactly what you need to do as a new player playing Raid Shadow Legends. So in my opinion, this fusion is not as strong as, of course, we had Helicat, which is really, really good. And then I think the second one this year would be Drang. So the last couple of ones have been a little bit of a hit and miss. So she is our Halloween fusion, I guess. So Morrigaine. We're going to go straight to her this time around instead of going through the epics first. Because I feel like this opinion needs to be front-loaded in the video before we do anything else, right? So, the A1 is attacks one enemy, 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed buff, which books up to a 70% chance. Okay, that's actually not bad. Decreased speed has gotten better throughout the game because of Doom Tower, because of Hydra Boss. In Hydra Boss, though, you do want AoE, so that is a little bit unfortunate. The A2 is 75% of stealing all buffs from an enemy target, and then has a 75% chance of placing True Fear on all enemies for one turn. Will also place a 50% decreased accuracy for 2 turns instead if the target is a boss. So unfortunately, there is a niche place where AoE decreased accuracy is actually not bad, and that is spiders. And it doesn't do it there. So, kind of unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world, obviously. I mean, it is an AoE. It is a AoE True Fear. True Fear is not great. So even if you book this up to 100%, the proc of True Fear is not great. So she's not going to be your crowd control for spiders. If that's what you're thinking, she's nowhere near that level. And then finally, you have the increased speed and books up to 100% of decreased turn meter of all enemies by 20%. Fill allies turn meter by 20% and increased speed buff on all allies. So it's a speed booster with a decreased turn meter. Much like, I think, the best one that probably does this is the elf. What's her name? Lysandra. And then the other one would be Deacon, of course. We've had this before, and I'm going to show you who I think is better than Morrigaine, and you'll get it for a lot less effort. And then at the start of each turn, you put 100% heal reduction debuff on the enemy with the lowest HP. This debuff cannot be removed, transfer spread, or duration increase decrease by enemies or allies. 19% all battles field aura. So, turn meter booster with a decreased speed and decreased healing. So she does have one niche spot that I haven't heard the content creator talk about yet. And that is, in my opinion, Dark Fae. So with Dark Fae, this allows you to bring spirit-based champ, because the more spirit-based champs you bring in your team, Dark Fae heals itself for each spirit champ that you have on your team. I think something to that effect. So one of the skills she has. So the decreased healing here will take that away. And you don't need to do anything to have the decreased healing get put on Dark Fae. You just need to clear the clones, right? You know, I mean, if you can't clear the clones anyway, then your Dark Fae team is not going to work, right? So, yeah, I feel like that is one of our niche spots. So, I mean, you know, I've broken Dark Fae with, who did I break it with? Syl, and one of the best fusions, actually, we've had this year is Filja, which was one of the first fusions we had this year, which was an epic that you could have gotten basically for free this year. I hope we have the same thing here, like we have good epics here. I haven't seen the epics yet, so spoiler alert, I haven't seen the epics. But Morrigaine I have seen, and I feel like she is not there, yo. She really is not there. So really quick, before we do anything else, I mean, if you look at my Ultimate Death Knight video, you see me breaking Dragon's 20 there with a level 50 Ultimate Death Knight. I mean, of course, the stats on my Ultimate Death Knight is not going to be anywhere near the stats you can do with a new account. But if you have a level 60 Death Knight, though, right, with a level 60 F2P Trinity, which is, if you don't know who they are, it's going to be your starter, War Maiden, and High Katoon. And High Katoon, I feel like, is better than Morrigaine. Why? She has the same, plus 19% all battle speed aura. Her A1 is not as good. So this is where Morrigaine really does get a leg up on her, because this only goes up to a 40% chance to put the decreased speed. 45 if you're taking the mastery, the sniper mastery, right? So it's not great. But you do get a 3-turn cooldown increased speed with a turn meter fill, and then you get an AoE chance to decrease turn meter, right? So for a starter account, High Katoon actually kind of does exactly what Morrigaine does. I mean, obviously, Morrigaine is going to have better stats, but you're going to need legendary books anyway to get her up to the maximum potential, to where she really, really laps High Katoon in terms of like what High Katoon can do. So I feel like this is, Morrigaine is not a high priority champ to go for, in my humble opinion. So the one thing Morrigaine does have is that Deacon Armstrong, Lysandra ability, which is you push turn meter back, you gain turn meter on your own, and then you put increased speed on. So that is very, very powerful in a lot of places in the game. The only problem is, of course, Lysandra's better. She has the better speed aura, I think. Does she have the better speed aura? I don't think it's all speed battles for her, right? But of course, she's not a fusion. So this kind of like toes the line of how exactly my opinion of fusion champs, which is they should be a toned down version of already established champs. So let's take a look at Lysandra. Speed all battles 24%, so she didn't get that. I wish they would have given her that, but they did not give her that. And then you get the increased speed, turn meter all allied, the decreased turn meter of all enemies by 30%. So Lysandra obviously does it better. It's a 30% decrease, 30% fill, and it happens right away. You don't need to book out the percentages. You just book out the cooldown. So, of course, I feel like Lysandra's still better. But Morrigaine, you know, pretty close. Pretty close. Not absolutely there, but definitely close. So, yes, if you're looking for a Lysandra type champ, yeah, sure. But I feel like High Katoon kind of does the same thing. So, I would not go out of my way to go after Lysandra per se, but Morrigaine. But, big but, we have to look at the epic. All right, so I heard that you're not going to be able to get a free epic this time around, which is kind of unfortunate, because that should be the pull of doing these classic fusion types. So I have seen this guy beat Dragon's 25. So this is a Dragon's 25 solo capable champ. And what does he do? Attacks one enemy twice. Each hit places 15% poison. Right. It's an HP based champ. That's pretty good. Attacks one enemy and 75% of instantly activating one poison on the target. Okay. Books up to 100. 3-turn cooldown right there. Attacks all enemies and places 2-5% poison. Poison sensitivity debuff for each turn. Heals the champion 1% of their max HP for each poison debuff placed by this skill. So poison sensitivity, poison. The A1 is more poisons, and the A2 is a poison exploder that only targets one enemy. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw Hell Hades do this where he does the thing. You know what he forgot in that video? Honestly, Hell Hades, he forgot Theodore, which is kind of the king of the solo Dragons 25 right now. I don't know how you could have forgotten that guy, but I guess there's a load of champs in the game, and everybody forgets something. It is a thing these days. There's just so many things to think about with this game. That's why when you come to this channel, what I give you is the bare minimum basics, right? We're not trying to min-max. We're not trying to break the game. We want to grind the game out, right? If you're an F2P low spender, you should be feeling me, you know? That should be the way you should think about the game. I want to grind this out and get value out of my limited resources. That is the way you should look at the game. Whenever a poison debuff is activated on an enemy, increases champion HP and death by 5%, stacks 25, resets each round. So definitely a solo champ capable, should be strong in clan boss as well, as long as you activate the abilities, so it does the abilities. And then the rare is going to be the same, guys. So we got one rare, one epic, so this is one of those. And it is a Sylvan Watchers champ. One enemy, 15% chance of block debuff. Not great. Attacks all enemies, 30% chance of increasing cooldown of a random skill on each target. And then places a perfect veil on this champ for 1 turn whenever they kill an enemy. Terrible rare. I'm not a fan. Yeah. Is this guy a Sylvan? Oh, it's all Sylvan Watchers. Interesting. Oh no, Morrigaine is undead. That is interesting. I wish they would have just done a all Sylvan Watchers. I mean, it is the Sylvan Watchers release, and she does kind of look like a Sylvan Watcher. I mean, they're doing this thing again where like everything's undead, even if they look like they come from another faction, like they make them undead. So maybe they'll make a Morrigaine looking champ that's a Sylvan Watcher. She should be a slam dunk in that. Well, let's look at the event itself, because the event itself is where we'll find out how you should go about this. This is a fusion plan video after all. So let's do Morrigaine fusion real quick and let's see what's up. So looks like you need to get Kate, 2 Kates in champion training. Okay. Oh shoot. Is this what they did? You have to place first in your tournament group to get the extra epic? What? Wow. That is terrible. So let's take a look. Summon Rush looks like... Okay, Summon Rush is going to be what? 1? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then you get 2 Kates in champion training. And then in the champ chase, you get a Hellbirth. Wow, this is a screw job for F2P Low Center. So I'm actually glad I'm late to the party, because this is a terrible fusion event, honestly. I would definitely try to get multiple copies of the epic. I would try to get multiple copies of my Celiac Priest Ornn. Because, one, he's good. He really is good. That will lock you in for a solo champ for Dragons 25. You can use him in your clan boss teams right now. So I feel like Ornn is the champ to take away from this fusion event. The champ, actually, I'm going to be looking forward to. So since it is Champion Chase right now, let's take a look at what's available for Champion Chase. Usually they do something special for these kinds of things. Oh, I think they did, huh? They did a 2x and a 10x for that new champ. In my opinion, all right, this is another reason why I delayed doing this. And, you know, maybe this will bite some people in the butt if they didn't understand this out the bat. Sacred 2x and Champ Chase is the worst time to pull Sacreds. Let me say that again. Sacred 2x and Champ Chase is the worst time to pull Sacreds, right? So yes, if you went for it, you know, if you really decided to go for the that new champ that was really broken, the new ninja type champ, right? Which is good. I think it's good that Plarium is making ninja available again through a new champ, you know. That's actually a great idea from them, and giving them out as a 10x. So if you guys went for that, perfectly fine. But to get your rare here, you're gonna have to do 10 sacred shards and pray you get a legendary, right? So yeah, out of your 10 you might get 1, you might get 0. Some people get 0 out of 10. That is a thing. It's happened to me on 2x. So you know, 2x is not a guarantee that you are gonna get a legendary after 10. It is what it is. And of course, if you have stored up fragment fusions like me, so I got 250 right there, 750, what is that? 300, 1,003, no, is it 750, 250, 1,400 with Mithrala, and then 1,650, and then I could probably get another one, Liburga, if I really, oh, maybe not, because I haven't been doing Doom Tower as much. But yeah, if I push Doom Tower a little bit more, I can probably get that one. So that, basically, I'm loaded for Champ Chase. I can do Champ Chase without pulling a single Sacred Shard. So that could be, you know, if I really wanted to get Morrigaine, but I feel like the Epic is better. And there's no choice right now of, you know, could you get the Epic, could you not get the Epic? Oh, let's go to my bracket real quick, just to see what I'm up against. Like, what do you think I'm up against, yo? All right, because I am a level 100 player, so I'm going to be up against, like, mega whales, right? I will never win a tournament anymore. That's the other thing, too, about Raid you should know about if you're a new player. Try to win the tournaments early. I mean, the last time I won a tournament this year, I think I'm only gotten artifacts this year from a tournament twice. The whole year. You know, I don't try hard. I mean, I'm going to be honest about that. I don't try hard at all. What is this? Madam Sarah's skin? Oh, what happened to the Ornn? I thought you were going to get an Ornn here. Or is it, what? Did I misunderstand that? Or is it the global? No, not global. Whoa. First or second, you get Ornn, right? No? Did I misunderstand that? Or is that for champ training? Shoot. Did I misunderstand that or what? Let's read it again. And then I think we're good. Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on like Ornn and all that. Okay, let's it's only the skin. So you really can't get Ornn. I misunderstood that. Sorry. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The reality is you cannot get an extra Ornn. So you have to pick between Ornn and Morrigaine. And my choice is Ornn. So that's good. You get to save some Sacred Shards. I mean, if you pull them right now to try and get the... damn. Which faction is he in? I'd say Shadowkin? Am I right about that? He is the Ghost Rider looking guy. Yeah. So definitely a Ghost Rider looking guy, right? Michinaki. So Michinaki, I mean, if you went after him, I don't really have anything against that. I just feel like Ornn is way better than the Fusion Champ, like by a lot. Unless you already have a Poisoner for your Clan Boss team, and unless you already have a Dragon's 25 solo champ. I mean, you know, Theodore is obviously better. You know what? Let's just end this with just showing you a quick Theodore run. Just to remind you how bonkers he is. Because he really is pretty freaking nuts as a Dragon's 25 solo champ. So none of the other solo champs can get close to what Theodore can do. So remember, I'm running this on mobile, right? And he can clear in a minute. So on the computer, you could probably clear him. You could probably do it in under a minute. Or very close to a minute, like a minute 5, minute 10. So I think I do about a minute and a half, a minute 10, a minute 20, something like that. And the reason why he's so strong is because his Poison Explosion is AoE. See, right there, boom. That's fast. So he is definitely way faster. And I think one of the things that can really slow him down is that your guys actually take a turn. So the one thing that really will slow him down is your guys end up taking a turn. So if you could figure out a way around that, I actually have no idea how to figure out a way around that. Maybe don't make him do the AoE decrease speed. I think it's the decrease speed that's probably getting them to go second. But yeah, I have no idea. Maybe there's something we can do about that just for the first round. So they kill all your guys first and run. You probably save maybe like 5 seconds off that. But yeah, so the runs are about a minute. So this is on mobile, and everybody knows the game is way slower on mobile. But yeah, you can kill the dragon in less than 2 minutes with Theodore, which is the best, probably the best solo Dragon 25 champ available right now. I don't know if there's anybody better. I feel like he's the best. But yeah, you'll see my fastest run here, which I think I did with Theodore. It's a minute 15. So yeah, it's about that minute 15, minute 30. That would be the average. So minute 30 would be the average, right? And then I get like plus 15, minus 15. I think that is a pretty safe range on mobile for Theodore. So I think in the computer I could probably get that closer to a minute. But yeah, you should definitely go for the solo champ. So I think the times I've seen for Ornn is less than 3 minutes, which is still pretty good. So he can get less than 3 minutes, 3 minutes and a half. It's still great. And, you don't need a god pull like Theodore. Like Theodore, I just got lucky. I think it was a 10x champ too. One of the few times I got lucky off the 10x event. Anyways, yeah, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And then we'll see what happens, right? See y'all next time.